We shall also partner with neighboring counties like Nyandarua and Narok, because our county is also a frontier county to the western part of the country, and the entry could be through directly Nakuru, through Narok, and also through Nyandarua. So we'll be working closely with these two counties to ensure that even their borders are properly manned and that there is no infiltration of persons who do not fit this description. Allow me further to state that the impact of COVID-19 in counties continues to be felt through reduced economic activities and dwindling revenue sources. The month of March is very critical in the county revenues, as most organizations pay their licenses in the first quarter. Nakuru in particular is the home of SMEs, or small business enterprises, and in the whole of Kenya, we are the biggest in terms of the catchment for SMEs, and consequently is the category that has been most affected by this closure. With the closure of many businesses and a dramatic decline in returns, many are unable to keep afloat with their obligations, including payment of licenses and other obligations to the county. The county has an obligation to listen to these business concerns, and hence we will be adjusting our budgets to reflect this financial reality. The drop in revenue will reflect in reduced implementation of budgeted projects. In Nakuru, for example, we expect that the drop will hit about 800 million shillings. Because counties have to operate and offer essential services, it is important for residents who are financially able to honor their obligations in order to cushion the vulnerable segments of the society. So in short, what we are simply trying to say is that for businesses that are not adversely or directly affected by the COVID situation, our plea to them would be to ask that by paying your obligations to the county, you are also helping the county to meet its obligation with respect to healthcare provision and other areas. The burden of disease will have far more devastating consequences. Areas with poor social and health infrastructure will bear a heavier burden. Lastly, we wish to note that the County Emergency Response Team is conducting a baseline survey across the entire county to identify areas deserving urgent humanitarian support. We are also in the process of setting up a command center so that all activities aimed at combating COVID-19, from information to enforcing the regulations set up by the government, national government for that matter, to humanitarian support, will all be done under one arm so that there is no duplication. This will be critical. The information we get out of this baseline will be critical to ensure that support will be taken where it is most needed without duplication. Sometimes when you allow humanitarian work to go on without proper coordination, you end up over-concentrating on certain areas and other key areas may be left out. And we also want to use the structures that we are coming up with as a way of gathering information on the most vulnerable areas that need urgent attention. As you may be aware, the County Assembly is in the process of approving our supplementary budget that will improve a comprehensive support program for the vulnerable groups. We have budgeted about 250 million shillings, and we shall set up ward committees that will include different segments of the society, from the persons with disability, women, youth, and religious leaders, that can be our monitoring groups at that level, so that at any one time, if we need to deal with any situation, from the chief level all the way up, will be well covered. The support will be expedited to alleviate the suffering of groups that have shown distress. We have also said as we approach Easter that this is probably the time when we least appreciate visitors. And we will urge that for families that are far apart, that we do not want families to come together, groupings, religious or otherwise. And therefore, during this Easter, we will also hasten and increase our surveillance to ensure that there will be no group meetings, there will be no visitors coming from any other parts to have big congregations, and I think through this way we'll achieve the desired goal of social distancing and fighting COVID-19.